Okay, guys, let's have an honest discussion. Okay, it'll be just me talking. But let's talk about product pricing. This is a difficult topic. I'm sure that there will be viewers of this video hearing some of my opinions that think I'm absolutely nuts and can prove why. Like, okay, sure, let me hear it. That's great, fine, and maybe I'll learn something. But here is where I am at this point with product pricing. Okay, uh, quality takes time, and even for myself, there's times I look at a product that I'm going to make, have it all laid out. I've got an example over here. I've made this one that's similar before. You kind of know, like, generally what it's going to take. When you look at a product and it looks so simple, and the habit is to go, okay, yeah, you know what, I can make that in X amount of hours. When I was first starting leather work, I was always very optimistic. Yeah, that helmet shield, describe what you want. Okay, yeah, I think I can make that in 6 hours. And time again, even despite very expensive, effective tools to help minimize the time of production, to make it, to increase the efficiency of it, to, no, it's still, a lot of times it still takes so much more time than anticipated. So let's talk about helmet shields, for example, to set this example on product pricing. So I have a helmet shield here. To look at it right now, looks pretty simple. It's a piece of leather. Okay, it's two pieces of leather. There's two layers, right? You get this shape cut out. You cut out the shape for the back piece. You glue them together. You throw some dye on there. You throw some paint on there. You stitch it, and you're going to be done. All right, that should take me, 8 hours if I'm, thinking long. Like, 8 hours. Yeah, I should be able to do that. Okay, and then it's got some, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 passports. Okay, add another few hours for that. Okay, yeah. So, here's my estimate price. Okay, until, look, so the reality is that there's so much that goes into a well-crafted piece of leatherwork. There's so many steps that you can't even see, couldn't even guess by looking at this product. I myself got this all laid out, spent a few hours on the computer, doing the design, emailing, meeting with the customer, confirming what we wanted, the measurements, doing some test cutouts on cardboard, making sure the fit was perfect on the helmet, the spacing, everything was going to be right. Okay, design on the computer, the font is exactly how they prefer and want. All the spellings are correct. Okay, all the station numbers are correct. Everything size-wise, proportions, it's all correct and good. Okay, I've got a laser. Does some of that work for me now? Cuts some stuff out, etches things. Okay, right. Get everything set, pretty much ready to go. I'm going to put this stuff together, and I'll be done. And my goal in setting out to actually get hands going to leather was, okay, for this shield, what I did was I got up at 3 a.m. because I have a lot of leather work to do. There's a big list of big projects. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go from start to finish putting this thing together, and by noon tomorrow I'll be moved on to the next project. Okay, so I started at 3 a.m. Worked effectively, efficiently, not taking sloppy breaks, not including time watching something dry. No, very efficient use of time, continuous, nonstop. I did stop the clock counter. At times I did go up for breakfast at one point, and otherwise I waited till very near the end till I was like, okay, I got to stop for some dinner. Okay, so this thing, I stopped working on it 8 p.m. 8 p.m. the next day, from 3 a.m. till 8 p.m. Done. Fully done. Actually, it wasn't fully done because the next morning I got up and added this piece to the back. Okay, so there are so many steps that you don't see in quality leatherwork. And yet, so right, when you count up the hours that goes into this, the hours of work itself, never mind the cost of materials, never mind the cost of a $10,000 laser, a $5,000 sewing machine, never mind so many things. The hours alone dictate a respectable price, right? You cannot slave away. You can. Some guys may be doing it. I don't know, right? But if I was to let go of this shield for $100, that's absurd. There's no sustainable business model there that will take you the distance, the long run with a company where you maintain your sanity and use your time well, and sacrifice your time for having made such a product. Now, you can shortcut things. There are different ways to design a shield, a helmet shield. You can do the same size shield, one piece without some of this done, some kind of pattern laid out that the laser etches, completely all the design. Your hands don't have to touch it. You could not stitch it at that point and just do a little painting and hand it over. Again, I could make a mistake right now and be like, oh yeah, if I did it that way, that'd be 2 hours. I would probably be very wrong. That probably still would take more hours than you would expect. Right, so there's a lot of different ways to go about this, and so the things can change. The crazy thing to me is I see shields like this that kind of have a very similar appearance, at least at first glance, going on Etsy for $47. $47? Forgive me, but the effort I put into this, you can't. Right? Just by cost of product alone, and any reasonable price that you put on your value per hour of effort, your knowledge, the things that you understand and know about leather going into the product, right, demands X amount of dollars per hour, right? So it's very interesting. Again, there's so many steps to this. You didn't see coating on sealants. I recorded some of the process. Maybe you saw it on Instagram, but it's actually quite complex doing this. I did, now when you record something, it does slow you down. When you're recording stuff, you stop and mess with the camera, you stop to change angles and stuff. So, okay, give some latitude on that, take away, a couple hours even, be generous. Take away a couple hours for the production time, saying that it slowed you down that much. It doesn't slow you down that much, but still, like to sell something like this for $47, very chronically across the board, it seems, and that would, right, and that includes, the price that I am asking for this shield is still quite a deal when you look at the hours put into it. And those hours, of course, are increased when you have 6 passports. But chronically across the board, I seem to notice within fire service leather workers the habit to way underprice your goods. And I think that stems from a competitiveness when you look at pricings of some of the work out there. It might look similar, it might look, at a quick glance on a website, that it looks similar in quality. If they're putting into their products what I put into my products, absolutely unreasonable to sell for $47, right? Radio straps. I see pretty good ones that are going for $150 and they look pretty good. I haven't touched them. I don't know all the ins and outs of how those are being built when they look that good. But I really struggle to see the exact construction process going on there. What steps are they skipping? What steps are not done? Please don't take this as any kind of personal attack. If you're running a leather workshop and you sell radio straps for $150, right? Depending on how you make your radio straps and what your customers want, maybe that is completely appropriate. and you've evaluated it, and you've evaluated your time it takes and the products it takes, and you say, okay, yeah, I can sell this based on what the customer wants. I can do it this way, and I can sell it for $150, and I've got my money worth my time put into it, and it only took me X amount of time, and my cost of products is such and such, and okay, yeah, I feel good with that $150. I indeed myself have a level of strap that I sell for $200. It's made of great leather. It's made of absolute quality solid brass components. I still make sure a lot of quality elements get into that strap, but I also skip a lot of what you might call niceties, right? I don't polish and burnish the edge. I don't do any extra work on paint. Like doing outlines and stuff. I keep it, right? The person that wants it for $150 gets a quality strap that is very purpose built for meeting. I need a strap to carry a radio, and I want it to be somewhat quality made. Okay, here you go. Oh, you want that same strap with a fill paint of red and a white outline, and you want a D-ring attached, and you want this polishing. Oh, and I want custom stamped on the underside of it to have my wife's initials, and I want okay, stop. You're not that. Sorry. Maybe somebody else can do it. I can't do it for $150, that level. Oh, you want an underliner? Oh my gosh. Sometimes very simple steps exponentially increase the amount of time, effort, and likelihood of error that you're going to have to deal with and correct as a leather worker. Right? So there's more that goes into a cost of a product than just how many hours I might put into it and how much is the materials worth that I'm going to use up making that product. Oh, and some percentage of value in some of the more pricey tools that helped you craft such a product. There's more to it that goes into it than that. You must account at some point, if your leather business is going to be one in-depth and go the distance, you must account for, at times, there's going to be errors and you have to scrap a piece mid-project. Yeah, that's your fault, but it happens. It happens somewhat regularly that something you notice, oh, there's actually this imperfection in the leather that I missed. Okay, I refuse to send that exception in quality out, so I'm going to start again. That doesn't mean you charge the customer 2 times just in case you mess up. No, but there's a certain percentage of cost that you have to build into it so that you have a little bit of ability to absorb some of those things, most times beyond your control, that you go, okay, you know what, this is going to be a redo. Also, right, definitely the cost of heavy machinery, fancy lasers, big sewing machines, things that help you increase the speed, those carry a heavy cost up front that at some point has to, in some small percentage for each project, kind of helps with that. You can't bare minimum your price. Also, if you put your prices, okay, I'm technically losing money per hour, based on what I value myself at per hour. I'm gonna just take it the shorts there, and I'll charge. This amount of leather cost me $30, and the fittings cost me an additional $15. So we're gonna just add those two together and throw an additional 10 on for my time, and call it good. Okay, sold. Whew. If you price your stuff that low, one, you're never going to be able to have an effective sale. And as your company grows, people will expect you to have sales, to offer discounts, to offer coupon codes. It's one of the ways you're going to be able to promote your products is with these coupon codes and engagement like this. Also, another issue that's unseen and often unconsidered by leather workers. Okay, you're making a fire department radio strap that a firefighter is going to wear inside of a burning building. For a moment, let's talk about the horrible possibility, albeit unlikely, not entirely unlikely, it's not impossible for sure, the event of line of duty death. Are you paying for insurance for yourself and for your company? Right? That has to be calculated in somewhere in your cost of business. If not, obviously, it's no secret that, okay, right, everybody's very, correctly, appropriately grieved when those things occur. When it gets down to the money men who are trying to decide who's going to pay who for the cost of this line of duty death, they look for every single exception, every possible component person that they can sue so that they don't have to pay and somebody else is going to pay. And lo and behold, if they can reason that, hey, your radio strap of his possibly got caught up on some stuff and contributed him being trapped in the fire, it is possible that you could face a big problem. So, at some point, insurance absolutely becomes a necessity. So again, to kind of summarize, you will see some pretty pricey things on my website. Helmet shields, they're not quite really on the website yet, kind of, but I'm looking at how to format it and how to get it on there with the options. Always the difficulty. But you'll see helmet shields on my website hit for $300, $400 bucks, $350, $400, somewhere in there. Maybe more depending. You'll see some that are cheaper. Different options certainly can bring the time down, but in every product I sell, you'll see that I value my time. I value crafting a quality product and delivering a quality product, and that inevitably has to be reflected in the cost. You will see some things that are a very good crafted product. This one's middle in production, but that are cheaper because it doesn't take me nearly as long. So I can offer that stuff cheaper. But please, I encourage everyone, do a very solid evaluation of your time and try to avoid the pitfall of looking left and right and seeing, well, he's got it for 150 over here and he sells it for $50. I better price mine at 125, maybe 100. Like, this is a very poor way to evaluate how you need to look at pricing your products. Look to a much bigger picture, and definitely don't devalue your time if you're taking time to put effort, knowledge into creating quality products that are made to last. All right. Thank you so much.